Hello Nerf Nation, I'm Mr. K.
I'm Mr. S.
But we're also real people too. And so for this episode, we'd like to talk a little bit about ourselves and let you know who you're listening to every other week.
Listening to? They watch us too. Because this is a video, not an audio. Yeah, we decided that, we ranted last episode, but you guys really don't have a basis for what we are, our opinions on things. So we decided we're gonna do a little biography and say some stuff about ourselves and where we came from, what made us the wonderful Nerfers that we are today.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll go first. My name's Travis. Hi. I just turned 30, beginning of the year, January. I'm married with a child, and I started my...
Married to a woman. Because we're not gay.
Okay.
We're
right.
best friends. Bros.
No, I won't go bros. No, I'm not.
Okay, I don't like... I don't like bros as in like hardcore brothers, but not bros as in douchey guys.
If I used classifications or I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. Like to use the term best friend, I guess in this case it would be him, but I don't use labels. There we go. I don't use labels on friends.
You don't use labels, but we're best friends, and that's what I'm sticking with.
You can stick with that. That's perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. I don't like using labels. I bucked getting married for many years because I didn't want the title of husband. Only reason, really. But I'm weird in that respect. I'm very opinionated on my likes and my things and my hobbies, and I'm a nerd and I'm proud of it, damn it. I came from a farm in the middle of fraggin' nowhere in the Midwest, flatlands, and my nerdiness is what kept me sane, man. I did not do much work on the farm. I played, and I had all these imagination things going on in my head. I would look at a tractor and see a spaceship, and I would play with it like a spaceship. And that's kind of what started me on the road that led me to where I am today. I'm very happy for my upbringing. I think I had it pretty good.
I am Matt.
Are you?
I am.
You are.
I am. Like Travis, I'm fairly opinionated. I'm somewhat flexible, more flexible than he is. But I'm usually right, so I don't have to be that flexible.
You're right in your own mind.
So, I'm just about 26, turned 26 in about a month.
Youngin.
I'm unmarried. I do not have any kids that I know of, nor do I expect any kids to come knocking on my door in the next couple of years, or dozen years.
That.
Huh?
We'll see about that.
I don't think it's going to happen. Very unlikely. There's only one chance of that. One. Anyways, I grew up in rural Minnesota, about half hour south of the Twin Cities, thereabouts. And living in a rural area, I wasn't too close to any kids my age, besides my brothers. We got two brothers. And basically playing with toys with them, Legos, Nerf, playing ball out in the backyard or whatever we could get our hands on. That was about the extent of what I did. I didn't even start watching TV, much until I was like 11 or 12.
Really?
Yeah, most of what I watched before...
Not even Saturday morning cartoons or anything like that?
Most of what I watched was like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
Looney Tunes, yeah, everybody watches Looney Tunes.
That was most of what I watched when I was younger. Did watch a little Transformers, but most of the stuff I didn't get in until after I was like 10 or 12.
Oh, really? Wow. See, growing up,
before that, there was like Disney movies and different movies and stuff, Star Wars and you know.
See, I didn't get exposed
like
to Star Wars until my adolescence. Yeah. Until I was like 11 or 12.
See, because we only had like one TV up until I was about 10 or 12. Okay. And that's when I got my own TV. And that's really when I started watching more, was when I had my own. Because for the most part, we'd have one that was in the living room, and you know, my mom would watch it, or my dad would watch it. You know, we wouldn't really get the chance to.
Saturday mornings was my time, man. We were fortunate enough on the farm to have my great aunt live across the driveway. So if my parents were busy out in the field or something, me and my sister, I have one older sister and two younger half-sisters, we'd go over to aunt's house and watch cartoons over there. Most Friday nights were sleepover nights over there. My parents would get a break and we'd stay up late and watch movies and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, my family was kind of tight-knit, but, you know, with my immediate family only on my dad's side, you know, they lived fairly close, and we were living surrounded by farmland that my extended family owned and stuff like that. But we weren't nearly as far out into the boonies as you guys.
I was 40 miles from anywhere. If you wanted to be in a town with more than 100 people or so in it, you had to drive almost an hour. So we didn't have very much extra media exploration as far as like going to movies and shows and stuff like that, because we were so far away. I had Transformers. Transformers is what kept me going. That's my biggest hobby is Transformers. I have over 50 some odd, close to 60 Optimus Primes now in my collection, and it takes up my entire living room. My wife loves it. She has her little shrine to Rodimus Prime on the wall. We're like I said, we're nerd and proud at my house. It's awesome.
Yeah, and Nerf is my primary collection. I do have a little collection of Transformers. I like Soundwave and Blaster. Blaster more than Soundwave, but you can't really always find Blaster. You know,
no, there hasn't been as many iterations of Blaster made, and some of them have been really shoddy.
Yeah. Other than that, I collect Boba Fett stuff. I have helmet, minifigs, the Lego stuff.
You have an alarm clock, for crying out loud.
I do, yeah.
Lego
Boba Fett alarm clock.
Lego Boba Fett alarm clock.
I also have the Kenner set that they put out with a little Boba Fett blaster that's actually Nerf, unlike the current one, which I don't like because it's just electronic.
Yeah.
So yeah. Other than that, big sci-fi fan.
Both of us can claim that title.
No, you're more fantasy though. And, you know, I'm a little less fantasy, more sci-fi. You're a little more fantasy, a little less sci-fi.
Well, that's because I had a huge obsession with dragons in my adolescence, and that kind of fueled that. So yeah, I mean, I didn't get exposed to. I don't read many books. I like comic books. I like to read comic books, and I do read some books, but not very much. So I don't read a lot of science fiction novels like a lot of sci-fi fans I know. I do like the swords and sorcery stuff a little bit more, but I am a sci-fi guy at heart.
I tend to read maybe one fantasy book a year, and then like 4 sci-fi books a year, thereabouts. A lot of that's been Halo. I like the Halo books. They're interesting. Anybody who doesn't say Halo as a storyline, read one of the books.
Yes, but you have to read. That's the thing about it, though. You have to read the book to get the story, because the story doesn't really shine through in the video games. You can't tell me that it does.
Not as much, but there is a story.
There is a story. It's kind of a bread and butter science fiction story in the games. I'm sure they extrapolate upon it and make it.
It's a lot of military science fiction. I like military science fiction, which is why I read the BattleTech series when I was younger.
Oh, the BattleTech stuff was really cool. There was a cartoon of BattleTech, Robotech stuff in the late 80s, early 90s had some 3D stuff in it. It was really shoddy. But the books and the RPG, like the tabletop RPG...
I never got to play the tabletop
fantastic.
RPG. I've always wanted to play that and Dungeons and Dragons, you know, like those classic RPGs, but I've never been able to.
I played pen and paper D&D in high school. Not so much in my later years. We played a little bit of the Robotech tabletop RPG in college when I was living in the dorms. But we only played with the cardboard cutout miniatures that came with the box set. We didn't actually go out and buy the pewter figures or anything and paint them all up. Really wanted to, but we just didn't have the money for it at the time. We were poor college kids, so we dealt with what we had, and that's when I really started delving into, especially anime, was in college. Anime is like a bread and butter thing of mine. I love it. Can't get enough anime.
Oh yeah, the anime's great. I mean, you know, it's sub, dub, doesn't really matter. Although if you have one first, you can't watch the other.
It is really hard. I tried watching, first time I ever watched anime called Trigun. It's a really easy one to get into if you're a new incomer to anime. First watched it English dubbed. Had some good voice actors in there. It was pretty nice. Then I went and tried to watch it in Japanese, and I usually prefer the Japanese subtitled over the English dubbed, but yeah, once you see the one, it's hard to see the other, and
yeah, because even though you're not hearing English from the character when you're reading English, you kind of form that English with that voice.
You do.
So it ties them together.
There's a big part of recognizing the character is through the voice and the look together. So when you have it skews your image of the character going from one to the other. That's about all I can really say about that.
Yeah. So my love of Nerf stems I had a Nerf gun growing up, just one, up until I started collecting them. And my cousins actually had more than I did, and I liked my cousins more because they were the better ones. I remember one of my cousins did have a crossbow. Ooh. I just don't remember which one it was, so I can go after him. But I always loved playing with their Nerf guns. I mean, mine wasn't bad. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't the greatest.
The only experience that I had growing up with Nerf, I had a couple of Super Soakers back when they were owned by Laramie when they first started. So I have a little bit more of a desire for water pistols and stuff than I did for the dart stuff. Now living on the farm, my closest neighbor was almost 5 miles away. So going and playing with him was a big thing. And he had the bow and arrow, not the crossbow. And he had a couple of the old swords that had the shields on them. You could knock the stuff down. Mm-hmm. So I played with a couple of those. But yeah, until I met this bozo over here, Nerf was always one of those things that I wanted to get into, but there were other things that I would have preferred to buy and did buy over it. Now it's become a lot more of an obsession, and I don't have room for all of my crap.
Yeah. I really just love the meeting of art and engineering. Just
form and function.
Yes, form and function. Just the way they uniquely come together in Nerf guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Nerf gun blaster, whatever terminology you use, has really come a long way since its infancy in the, mid-'80s when they started doing stuff like this. I mean, so they've not only shrunk down the mechanisms and made them more efficient, but they've put them in a much sturdier housing and been able to make a much more complex blaster with more intricate things like batteries and lights and all sorts of shit, and keep the costs down enough for, especially now with the way the economy has been, for people to still be able to pick them up and play.
Yeah, and while they do sort of look like guns, they look far enough away from real weapons to be determined, they are.
Definitely.
And Nerf has never been like that. Unlike those little suction cup guns you can get at drugstores or whatever.
Yeah.
These have never looked like real weapons. They've always been
very
colors.
sci-fi. I mean, you look at like the stuff like, what was it, the Max Force that had all the monster-looking ones and the animals and stuff. Now they've made them a lot more militaristic, given the series almost a storyline without actually giving it a storyline.
Yeah. A good progression.
Yeah, awesome progression. I mean, that's why we do what we do, is because people, I think, are missing out on how incredibly awesome these things are. And I mean, they are toys to the almost to the next level.
To the nth degree.
To the nth degree. Toys to the nth degree.
Yes.
And the N is Nerf.
They're toys to the Nerf degree.
There we go. There's your new catchphrase,
Yes. That is the next tagline. It's Nerf or nothing. It's
toys
to the nth degree.
To the nth degree, and have that be the Nerf degree. There you go. But no, that's why we got started doing this.
Yeah. Love of the form, love of the function.
Yeah.
And
Started off with something as simple as a spur-of-the-moment run to Walmart to check out the toy section, and we hummed and hawed over that 2-player dart tag set for like 20 minutes or something like that, and we finally split the cost of it, and there was no turning back after that.
Yep. And quick little note on mods, why we don't like mods.
I wouldn't say we don't like mods.
It's not we don't like them, it's just that a lot of them do stuff that we don't really think is necessary with blasters. And especially like painting them. I'm not a big fan of painting them because I like the way they look, but I mean, if you're going to paint them, keep an orange tip. I mean, it's just basic safety.
Basic safety. I'm a fan of painting them. I do a little bit of custom toy painting on the side. Transformers. I do a lot of Gundam model kits and shit like that. But I have painted a couple of Nerf blasters, and while I'm not the greatest at it, I do enjoy doing it. And I think you can really improve upon the look that's already here and some of the details that they may not have had the budget to accentuate with more paint app. I think you can do that by painting them yourself.
Yeah, I think that's somewhat true. And I mean, I don't know. The biggest part of modding is I really don't want to damage them. I don't want to decrease what I can do with them, because I mean I've tried that in the past. I've tried modding like 1 or 2 blasters in the past, and one of them I broke, and it's just like, I don't really want to play with it anymore because it's broken.
You can always take it apart and remod it. However, I've modded a couple of them myself, and my biggest problem is rounding off screw heads.
Yeah.
It seems to be a big problem for me. So I can only take the housing off of a blaster once or twice before the screws just get stripped, and I don't want to have to try and find replacements and
yeah.
So I just don't do it very often. I think
we just really don't believe that you need to modify them to enjoy them.
On the whole, no, you don't have to modify them to enjoy them. I understand that it's it's a really big part of the community, and we're not bashing you or downing you guys in any way. Keep up the good work.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing what you're doing. Just be safe about it, and I mean, don't. My biggest problem. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. My biggest problem with the Nerf modding community, especially, is they just keep bitching at Hasbro for not giving them exactly what they want. Well, you know what? If you want what you want, make it yourself. There's plenty of places. I mean, we've done it. It costs a little bit of money, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta spend money to get what you want. You can make a full-on prototype of whatever you want from your own designs. I mean, there are a bunch of free 3D modeling programs out there. Get one of those, learn it, make something, print it out, and you'll have exactly what you want.
Yep. And with the Elite Series coming out, that's basically Nerf saying, here, we want to help you get what you want out of your blasters. We want you to be safe about it.
Yep. So we'll give you something that where we're pushing the boundaries of what we can physically do with this power-wise. And I think they got it in spades. I think the Elite Series is going to be nothing but fantastic for both the regular stock community and the modding community. It'll give you guys better fodder to play with.
Yep, and it's it's pushing the legal boundaries of what they can do too. Because I mean, they can only put out something that's so powerful before they stop becoming a toy company.
Exactly, and we want them to keep doing what they're doing as toys and not we're not trying to hurt people out here. We're trying to have fun.
Absolutely.
So that's us. That's a little bit more about it. To be honest with you guys, if you liked some of the stuff you heard here, you want to hear more, let us know. Shoot us an email or a message on our Facebook wall, or go to the message boards. There's plenty of ways to get in contact with us. We have the questions at adultfansofnerf.com email address. Use it. Shoot us any questions you got. We'll gladly answer them.
Yes, shoot us questions. Shoot us episode ideas. Though we're not going to do episodes on modding, I'm sure there's ideas that you guys can think of that you want to know that we haven't thought of yet.
Yep. This is a community. I mean, we want to hear your voice. We want to hear the things that you have to say about us and the show. The only way that we can be better is knowing what we do wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if you want us to, instead of doing these kind of talks, we're just sitting on the couch and we're just
BSing, basically.
BSing, yeah.
Which is fun for us.
It is. It is. If we could always create a podcast.
Yeah, definitely. And audio only, maybe something a little bit longer, instead of just our 15-20 minute rants, or sometimes they get close to an hour, and I know apologize for things like that, but sometimes we have a lot to say. And we do like being able to be a voice in the Nerf community and be able to give you guys the information and stuff that we do.
Yeah, so if you need information, we can help you out.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps this bit up. We didn't really talk about this. We're holding our favorite blasters, at least recently.
Yes, these are our favorite modern blasters.
Modern blasters, yes. I like the Raven because it's cool. And the Scout is, we've said all we can say about the Scout and how good it is.
I hope they delete it.
That would be epic. So, yeah, that's us. See us again on the next one, and as always, keep nerfing.